Have you ever seen a giant turn the octagon into his absolute domain, where every punch resonates like thunder? Renan Ferreira doesn't step into the ring to fight, he steps in to devastate. With inhuman power and a demolishing technique, this Brazilian colossus has become the new terror of MMA.
Oh, boy. Beautiful. 1-2. Oh, big right hand. Overhand right for Scheffel.
His fists don't just end fights, they take the breath away and erase all hope. One punch, one crack, and the opponent falls as if gravity had increased 1,000 times. Today, we'll show you how this knockout giant has left his mark with brutal finishes, solidifying himself as the nightmare of any fighter. But before we continue, subscribe, because if you don't, Renan Ferreira could be behind you, ready to throw a hook you'll never forget.
There's that explosive start from Renan Ferreira. My goodness. Clinches a playoff spot.
Renan Ferreira versus Matheus Scheffel. On June 16, 2023, at PFL 5, Renan Ferreira entered the octagon under the pressure of proving once again that his knockout power is no accident. His opponent, Matheus Scheffel, entered the fight as a dangerous contender, known for his aggression and resilience, qualities that made him a tough challenge for anyone. But Ferreira, with his imposing height of 2.03 meters and ability to land strikes as precise as they are devastating, had other plans. From the very first second of the fight, Ferreira took control of the center of the octagon and started measuring the distance with his jab. His size and reach allowed him to keep Scheffel at bay, forcing him to move constantly in search of an opening. Every time Scheffel tried to get closer, Ferreira responded with jabs and right hands that pushed the Brazilian back. Ferreira wasn't in a rush. He knew it was only a matter of time before finding the perfect moment. Ferreira's calm was that of a predator stalking its prey. Midway through the first round, Ferreira landed a sharp jab that rocked Scheffel for the first time. The crowd reacted strongly, knowing Ferreira was about to unleash his arsenal. At that moment, with the precision of a surgeon, Ferreira threw a right cross that landed squarely on Scheffel's jaw. The sound of the hit was deafening, and it felt like time froze as Scheffel collapsed to the floor, unable to react. Ferreira, staying true to his finisher instincts, quickly moved forward to seal the outcome. Although the referee was already alert, a couple more strikes sealed the fight before it was officially stopped.
Oh, boy. Big right hand. Overhand right for Scheffel. Drop with the left. Almeida with the round finish. There's that explosive start.
Renan Ferreira versus Stuart Austin. On August 19, 2021, Renan Ferreira faced Stuart Austin at PFL 8, a night where all eyes were on the imposing Brazilian. Ferreira entered the fight as one of the most dangerous heavyweight prospects in PFL, while Austin, an experienced veteran, sought to impose his game and silence the critics. However, what seemed like a competitive fight quickly turned into an exhibition of brutal power by Ferreira. From the beginning of the first round, Ferreira showed absolute confidence. Taking the center of the cage with his towering figure over 2 meters tall, he began dictating the pace of the fight. Stuart Austin, aware of Ferreira's reach advantage, tried to close the distance with lateral movements and feints. But Ferreira was unfazed. Every time Austin tried to get closer, Ferreira punished him with solid, precise jabs, establishing his dominance and frustrating any offensive attempts. As the minutes passed, Ferreira started throwing even more dangerous combinations. In a lightning-fast sequence, he landed a straight jab followed by a devastating right cross that landed squarely on Austin's head. The Brit staggered, and in that moment, Ferreira smelled blood. Without giving him time to recover, sent Austin crashing to the canvas. The referee quickly intervened, but the damage was already done. Ferreira needed just 2 minutes of the first round to spectacularly finish the fight.
Fighters squaring off. That loves to get off to a great start. Damage from those two legs. That was the right hand. It's a 1-2. Good night from Renan Ferreira. Goodness, I mean, Keith Peterson.
Renan Ferreira versus Jamelle Jones. On April 28, 2022, at PFL 2, Renan Ferreira returned to the cage with one clear goal: to leave an indelible mark and remind the world why he is one of the most feared heavyweights in the circuit. Facing him was Jamelle Jones, a well-experienced opponent in the division, known for his ability to take punishment and remain dangerous at all times. However, that night, Ferreira would prove that when his power is unleashed, no defense can withstand it. From the sound of the bell, Ferreira imposed his presence with a clear strategy: to keep Jones at a distance with his long jab and avoid any attempt to close in. With his 2.03-meter height and impressive reach, Ferreira controlled the center of the cage like a titan, measuring every move of his opponent with patience and precision. Jamelle Jones, trying to close the distance to avoid Ferreira's long punches, began pressing forward with quick steps and feints. But Ferreira wouldn't fall for Jones' game. At 2 minutes into the first round, the Brazilian landed a sharp jab that destabilized the American and forced him to retreat. Ferreira wasted no time. Seizing the moment of vulnerability, he unleashed a sudden right leg front kick that struck Jones squarely in the face, sending him stumbling backward. The cage had become his prison. Ferreira, with the precision of a hunter, closed the distance and unleashed a brutal combination. Jones collapsed to the canvas, and Ferreira, showing his finisher instinct, dove in with a couple more strikes before the referee intervened to stop the fight.
Because that was his wrestling stance. Oh, he's had a knee. Man, a padding around the side of Jones' head. Wow. He's out. It all started with that knee shot. That rocked him, and those follow-up shots on the ground were absolutely...
Renan Ferreira versus Fabricio Almeida. On December 9, 2017, Renan Ferreira stepped into the octagon at Shooto Brazil 74, one of the most prestigious events in the Brazilian circuit, facing Fabricio Almeida, an experienced fighter known for his resilience and determination in the cage. Although Almeida was an opponent who had proven difficult to finish in previous fights, Ferreira entered the ring with the confidence and power that characterized him, ready to show that his place in the world of MMA was no accident. From the very beginning of the first round, Ferreira imposed his physical dominance. With his height of 2.03 meters and overwhelming reach, he started setting the pace with precise jabs that forced Almeida to stay on constant movement. Every attempt to close the distance was punished with solid strikes that shook Almeida's guard, who began to show signs of frustration. Ferreira's calm was evident. He didn't rush his punches, every move was measured with precision. At 3 minutes into the first round, Ferreira found the opening he was looking for. With Almeida attempting to close the distance, Ferreira surprised him with a right hook straight to the temple that made his opponent stagger. It was the beginning of the end. With the precision of a marksman, Ferreira advanced and launched a lethal combination. The referee had no choice but to intervene immediately. The crowd erupted in cheers as Ferreira raised his arms, celebrating a victory that confirmed his status as a true finisher.
Oh, big left hand, short left hand by Problema, drops. Almeida is covering up, and that is the end of this fight. Renan Problema with the...
Renan Ferreira versus Jared Vanderaa. On September 6, 2019, Renan Ferreira faced Jared Vanderaa at LFA 74. A fight that would not only mark his debut in the organization, but also test his ability to face an experienced opponent like Van der Raa, a veteran who had already showcased his power and technique in the octagon. For Ferreira, this fight represented an opportunity to prove that his rise in MMA was not a fluke, but the beginning of an explosive career. From the first moment, Ferreira showed his imposing presence. With his enormous reach and dominant physique, he began to set the pace and control the center of the cage. Van der Raa, known for his aggressiveness, tried to close the distance to prevent Ferreira from using his reach to his advantage, but the Brazilian was determined not to step back.
And hold us, his game plan is to use that.
Throughout the first round, Ferreira kept Van der Raa at bay with long jabs and front kicks that pushed the American back on multiple occasions. As the fight progressed, Van der Raa's frustration became evident. Every time he tried to close in to land a strike, Ferreira responded with pinpoint punches that made it clear the Brazilian had complete control of the bout. It was in the second round when Ferreira seized his opportunity. After a sequence of rapid punches, Ferreira landed a right uppercut that completely destabilized Van der Raa. Taking advantage of his opponent's vulnerability, Ferreira wasted no time in throwing a devastating left hook that landed with precision on Van der Raa's face. The impact was so strong that Van der Raa fell straight to the canvas, completely knocked out. The referee intervened immediately, stopping the fight and declaring Ferreira the winner by knockout in the second round.
And in again.
Big shot!
From there, man.
At the triangle at Ferreira.
He got it.
He got it! Over and out!
Oh my goodness, what a fight. We talked about the telescoping arm.
Renan Ferreira versus Carl Sumanutefa. On June 10, 2021, Renan Ferreira faced Carl Sumanutefa at PFL 6, a significant test for the Brazilian. Sumanutefa, known for his toughness and ability to bring a fight in the octagon, was a dangerous opponent with a history of knockout victories. But Ferreira, with his imposing size and unmistakable striking power, entered the fight determined to show why his name was gaining more recognition in the MMA world. From the first bell, Ferreira took control of the cage, using his 2.03-meter reach to keep Sumanutefa at a distance. Ferreira was patient and calculating, knowing that at any moment he could find the opening to unleash his power. Sumanutefa, on the other hand, tried to be aggressive and close the distance, pressing forward with his explosive style. But Ferreira displayed solid defense, thwarting each attempt with fast jabs and body shots that pushed Sumanutefa back. As the first round progressed, Ferreira's strategy became clearer, where Sumanutefa down, drain his energy, and then land the decisive blow. It was in the second round when Ferreira began to pick up the pace. After a series of exchanges, Ferreira landed a perfect jab that forced Sumanutefa to retreat. With the American on the back foot, Ferreira seized the moment and unleashed a lethal right cross that landed squarely on Sumanutefa's head. The impact was devastating. Sumanutefa, unable to defend himself after the blow, collapsed immediately. Ferreira's power had been too much for him. The referee wasted no time in intervening to stop the fight, declaring Renan Ferreira the winner by knockout in the second round.
He clipped him up. Carl Sagan on the top, in trouble, and here come those hammer fists yet again. Renan Ferreira, diligent on top. Save on the top of grabs hold for some recovery time.
These fights reflect Renan Ferreira's evolution and impact in the MMA world, showcasing his ability to face high-level opponents and finish fights with explosive precision. If you've been impressed by his power, don't forget to subscribe. You won't want to miss his next victory.